everybody, my name is Lynette. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Today's video is based on an overheard conversation at a garden center. I really wasn't eavesdropping, but I couldn't help but overhear these people saying that they were using Kool-Aid in their hummingbird feeders. And I thought to myself, oh my, that's not good. Hummingbirds don't need that food coloring. They definitely don't need the artificial flavoring. They just want sugar and water, or better yet, they want flowers. So in today's video, we're going to plant up this beautiful container full of flowers that the hummingbirds will just love, and then I'm going to share with you the recipe that I use to fill up my hummingbird containers. I am using my homemade self-watering pots for this project. I've already filled the pots up with this Black Cow organic potting mix. Now, I'm not affiliated with Black Cow. I'm just testing this out this year. I've used their compost in the past. I was thrilled to see this potting mix, so it's an experiment. Let's see how it works. For fertilizer, I'm using this Miracle-Gro Spring Ahead, and it's a 6-month feed fertilizer, and it's NPK is 15-5-10, but you can use anything that you find around. You just sprinkle this in, stir it up into the soil, and then you should be ready to go and plant. But you can use Osmocote, anything that you find around the stores. It doesn't have to be Miracle-Gro. We're going to do this top-down view, and I'll explain all the plants as we go along. Our spiller, our flower that's going to go over the edge, is this beautiful Calibrachoa. It is called Callistotastic Cappuccino, and it is just wonderful to drape over the edge of the plant, or over the planter. And we're just going to pop it out of our container gently. Squeeze it if you have to, break up the suction on those sides. There we go. And that's going to go right in the front. So we're just going to dig a hole, set that right there, firm it in, and that will drape beautifully over the side. The next plant we have is this Proven Winners Vermilion Air Kufia. Now, hummingbirds love Kufia because it's got these tube-shaped flowers, so their little beaks can go down right inside there and suck that nectar out. Again, take it out of the pot, dig our hole. Make sure you don't plant it any deeper than it already is in its container. Tuck that right along the side. This will get rather big, and it's going to allow those hummingbirds to be able to hover to drink from those flowers. Hummingbirds like tube-shaped flowers. That's because they need to hover when they're feeding. They don't want things like daisies that are flat because they don't land on the flower to suck up the juice. They like to hover above it. The next plant we're going to use is this begonia. It's a waterfall enchanted red begonia. And again, it's got tubular shaped flowers. They drape over the side. So again, the hummingbirds can hover here and drink the nectar. And we're going to put that one right along the outside edge here. Again, we just dig our hole. Pop the plant out. Make sure you don't bury it any deeper. Tuck it around the sides there. Firm it in. Now, this is a plant I'm really curious about. It's a shrimp plant, and I found this at Runnings, which is a local like Tractor Supply store in our area here. Not local, it's nationwide. But sometimes they get some really interesting plants, and they had these shrimp plants there. And it says full sun. So I'm hoping that the tag is right because this is going to be a full sun container. And this is going to be basically almost our thriller plant. So it's going to go in the back, towards the back, I should say. And I'm hoping that these little tube-shaped flowers in the shrimp plant will attract the hummingbirds as well. And the final plant we're putting in here is a Proven Winners Color Blaze Dipped in Wine Coleus. And I wanted this for its dark foliage. I thought it was a good contrast. These do not get any kind of flowers for the hummingbirds, but I thought that dark color with a little bit of chartreuse kind of broke up the monotony of all this green. But there we go. There's our planter. Again, tube-shaped flowers for the hummingbirds, things that they can hover on and stick their little beaks down and their tongues down into them will be perfect for them. So I'm going to plant up. I have actually 4 of these to plant up. I'm going to get those all done. Let's zoom in so we can get a better look at these plants. Here's that Calibrachoa cappuccino. Beautiful, beautiful. As it ages, it's going to turn a creamy white instead of that pink. Then we have that begonia. It's weeping beautifully. Our shrimp plant. Let's see if I can get in there close so you can see what the flowers look like. That's the shrimp plant. There's our coleus. And then the kufia with those tube-shaped flowers that the hummingbirds are just going to love. Having been a master gardener for many years, as well as working at our local Cornell Cooperative Extension for over 20 years, I find I use Cornell resources a lot. And when it comes to birds, I always go to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology's website, All About Birds, and that's where today's recipe comes from. In the early spring, when it's cold and damp, I use a ratio of 1 cup water to 1/3 cup sugar. As the weather starts to warm, I change it up slightly and I use 1 cup water to 1/4 cup sugar. Both recipes I cook on the stove, bring to a boil. If I make more nectar than I can use at one time, I store excess in the refrigerator. When it comes to filling up my feeders, I never fill them all the way up. I don't have enough hummingbirds here that they're going to go through this much nectar in 2 to 3 days. Instead, I put a 1/2 cup, maybe 3/4 cup in at a time. Then when I need to refill it, I take it down and I wash it out and put the fresh nectar in. Now, there's no need to put red food coloring in here. The containers themselves have enough red to attract the hummingbirds, and I've also heard that some people are using honey in their feeders. And while I understand the concept of that, it's not a good idea because honey, once it's diluted, bacteria can easily start to form. So stick with the sugar and water recipe. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, and feel free to share this if you think somebody might be interested. I hope you can get out in your garden today and have some fun. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video.